The former President of the United States, Bill Clinton. Good morning, Mr. President.
Morning, man. This is one of my favorite kinds of mornings on the Imus program, when he has a special musical guest, like Martina McBride, Gretchen Wilson, Cheap Trick. I'm sorry, it's just how my mind works. I think of Martina McBride, which makes me think of Gretchen Wilson, which makes me think Cheap Trick. Not that I think Gretchen Wilson is either cheap or a trick, but a girl does have to keep her options open. I'm very excited about today's musical guest, the Knockers.
No.
I'm sorry. See, there I am again. I can't help myself. It's like a word association thing.
The Knockers.
It goes like this: that the Wreckers are rockers with knockers. See how it works? It's embarrassing. Almost like Tourette's syndrome. I mean, it's a sickness. Like I'm saying erection instead of election. Personally, I'm going to therapy 3 times a week to try and break myself of the habit. But the first session I had, when the doctor diagnosed me and told me I had acute sexual obsession, I said, well, thank you. But actually, it turns out I have something the medical profession calls OPD, obsessive pudendum disorder, where no matter what the thought or conversation, I always break it down to crotch level. For example, I have a problem with the car, let's say, and I tell the mechanic, I'm having difficulty getting her to turn over. Before he can make the joke, I'm already thinking, if you can't get her to turn over, maybe you need to get her drunk first. Well, back to the music. The Wreckers, Michelle Branch and Jessica Harp. Branch, harp, something long and hard, and something you pluck. Sorry, see? Somebody better just turn a hose on me. The Wreckers' new album is called Stand Still, Look Pretty, which is not just a clever title. It ain't such bad advice to give to a woman. Stand still, look pretty, don't try anything fancy. Just shut up and do what you do best. Show off that world-class dumper of yours. Which Michelle and Jessica do, by the way, in some of the photos they have up on their website. One in particular where they're sitting on a propane tank that bears more than a slight symbolic resemblance to, well, what I like to call Little Bubba.
Here in the Imus Morning Program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. How much money do we get from the Cold FX people?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I'd like to talk to Mark Messier, but I mean that does. This stuff better work. How much money does CBS Radio get for that, or MSNBC, or did they even cut MSNBC in on the deal?
I have no idea. I
Holy
don't have any
God,
answers
I mean,
in that area.
That's outrage, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know.
Messier's a good guy, though. He's a
great guy.
He's a wonderful sense of humor. See, that's the point. He didn't punch me in the face.
And a true gentleman.
The Wreckers are coming up, and
love them.
Man, they are.
They are fabulous.
People come in. I mean, they're not big country music fans. A lot of people, you know. A lot of people are, but more than you think, you know. But we gave Messier a CD. Ashley did. Found one. So they'll be out. And we talked to him for a couple of minutes, then. And see what's going on. Bill Clinton's here this morning. Fred Imus will be back on Friday. I'm thinking, did I hear what I just heard? I said, man, I hope they don't say. So, well, anyway, we'll talk to them in just a second. It's 18 minutes. After the hour here in the Imus Morning Program. How much more time in this set?
We're out now.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, it is coming up on 19 minutes after the hour here in the Imus Morning Program on the radio all over the country and on MSNBC. Please welcome to the Imus Morning Program the Wreckers, Michelle Branch and Jessica Harp. How are you guys?
Thank
Great.
you.
How are you?
He hasn't been awful to us yet today. He's been actually
There
great.
is still time.
I haven't been. Who have I even been awful to? Anyway,
You've been just screaming at everybody.
thank you very. First of all, thank you very much for doing this.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Well, because getting up early in the morning, I know it's not a great time to come in and play or sing, but we really appreciate it. You guys going up to Mohegan Sun with? Are you on tour with Montgomery Gentry or?
We are. We have been for about a month now.
How are they to be around?
They're a little crazy. They try to get us to go drinking every night, and we
They do?
We try to keep away.
You know, I
Sometimes it works,
saw a
sometimes
thing
it
on CMT about a year ago in which they were on tour talking about Montgomery Gentry. Well, I think her great, you know. But man, I thought these guys are not going to be alive. You know, you got to come out the other end of that tunnel, you know. Well, Michelle, last time we heard you were doing it with Carlos Santana and that huge hit. How did you two wind up together? Tell me about that.
We've been friends for about 7 years now. We were both independent artists trying to get signed, and people were saying that we sounded a lot alike and comparing the two of us. And I think just out of blatant curiosity, we both, you know, who's this girl who sounds like me? And we ended up sending each other music and developing a relationship early on. And then whenever she wasn't working on her music, she'd come out on the road with me, and we would write or sing, and she eventually was on stage with me, and it just became the right thing to do. It was just so natural and kind of unavoidable.
It felt meant to be.
Somebody said yesterday that you said, are they sisters? Because you know how siblings sound like the Everly Brothers, or there's all kinds of folks, examples who people who sing together, like Vince Gill's daughter who sings with them. She's on, I mean, it sounds, you know, you just know it's a family member, that kind of deal. So.
Yeah, unless there's something our parents aren't telling us, we're definitely not related.
Because sometimes if you listen to these records, you don't know who's singing lead, you know?
I know.
I mean, so.
That was the thing that really stuck out when we first started playing music together. Everyone really reacted to that, and so we decided to take it for a test ride.
Some of these songs, particularly the ones that you've written, Jessica, well, a lot of them are right together, but some, man, I mean, you're just attracting the wrong kind of guys.
I know.
So,
I know. I don't know what it is.
the song "Crazy People Fall in Love with Me," which Tracy Gershon from Warner Brothers, who's a friend of mine, sent me that, and she said, "You're just going to love this." But how'd you get a deal with a record company unless you write your own stuff?
That was a long story. We were
a lot of
originally, I was on Maverick Records, which, you know, is part of the Happy Warner family, and that was a struggle at first. When we first made this album, they didn't know what to do with us, and they had never had a country album, and that's when Warner Nashville swooped in and saved us and took us under their wing, and we're so happy to be working with Tracy in particular, and everyone's been great to us.
This is great, isn't it? I mean,
awesome. I get to make music for a living with my best friend.
Yeah.
Can't really beat that.
And you guys love being on the road?
We're on the road till September of next year with, am I allowed to say it?
Yeah.
Keith Urban. We're going to be on tour with Keith Urban all next year.
Why wouldn't you be able to say Keith
Well,
Urban?
you know.
Breaking news.
No. We didn't know if the tour was announced properly or
I
not.
see. Not because.
No, not because of the drug thing.
Yeah. Well,
whatever.
You know, I had a guy here yesterday, Hollywood Henderson, and he and I both, you know, been down to, you know, the reason that you can get cocaine now so easily is because a bunch of us stopped doing it, you know. So it's available. But Keith Urban is, I mean, it's like Brad Paisley, you know. You think, well, I mean, it's another little pretty guy in a cowboy hat. But, God, he is great. And
We
he's
were on
a,
tour with him. He's
fantastic.
amazing.
and he's a great guitar player.
Yeah,
So,
he's really
of course,
talented.
so is Keith Urban. Well, I'm not going to talk to you all morning because if I do that, then, like, I had Vince Gill in here, and so he's an interested. You know him?
Yeah, he's great. We don't
We
know
actually
him,
haven't
know
met
him.
him, but
I mean,
We
that
adore him.
guy's a genius. Oh, no, really, you get that word tossed around, but he's unbelievable. Have you heard this new record of his?
no, we keep
Oh, my
meaning
God.
to go pick it up.
There's 43. I mean, there's a bunch of songs in there that I'm sure other people will do because it's just like, anyway. So you wind up sitting there talking to him, and next thing you know, there's no time to sing. So, well, thank you very much for
Thank
doing
you.
this.
Thanks for having us.
They'll be at the Mohegan Sun Friday night with Montgomery Gentry.
Yeah.
Assuming that there's not a big train wreck and something happens, or they get on their motorcycle, but they're great too. And Little Big Town,
Yeah,
Uh,
they're really
They're
great
wonderful.
Too.
they're cute.
He had us cracking up all morning. We might change our band name to the Knockers.
Oh, really?
We might.
I'm
You
impressed.
really made our day.
That works for me.
Anyway, Michelle Branch and Jessica Harp, the Records, after this, they're going to sing. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
24 after the hour.